Hey there guys, we're looking at Reilly or something. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but he's playing in the ESEO semifinals of last season, and obviously they're on process. Probably not the final version, I don't think that was out yet. Let's see how he does. So immediately I don't like jumping up here. It looks like your demo has pretty good control of the mid just from his positioning, but for the most part, this is a pretty easy sticky to hit for the enemy demo, so delaying here is a bit better. Also take note that if you were the scout that kind of spawned behind, you'd want to delay a bit of choke, because if the demo pushes up to the right here, he can actually get a lot of damage done at choke, so you don't want to eat the same damage. Just doesn't really hurt anything. You lose like half a second, quarter of a second, but you avoid taking damage from the same sticky if this demo is pushing up to you from the right here. So right now, no one's really pushing up, so you shouldn't be trying to take a whole lot of damage or do a whole lot of damage. In general, I don't like being up here, because if you ever start losing, it's kind of miserable. If the mid's not like in a winning position, you're not going to do a whole lot up here. It's basically just to control, and I'm not really a fan of that. I usually play on the point. But from here, you probably want to drop down and pressure this demo, because it looks like the mech is going behind rock, and I think the demo was a bit in front of rock. Like, yeah, you wasted definitely too much ammo here spamming, which, you know, you never want to do if you're in that position where you're kind of the guy that's supposed to... Oh, sick items. The guy that's supposed to deal with the soldiers.
Our control point is being captured. Time has been added.
I don't think this is very effective, because... I mean, you have a pyro on the right, so it's a little bit better, because, you know, for the most part, people are going to be pushing through in that lower right tunnel if they have a big advantage like they do. But you're opening yourself up to a lot of, like, a good team will always go into lobby under, so you won't even get this sight line. They go through the left door, you know, done properly, they probably push you out a bit, or at least get a pretty extended Uber. They come in top right, obviously you can't do anything about it, they're going to be pretty early anyway, so I'm not sure how effective this is. Could have probably gone with engineer or heavy if you wanted to off class. And this last is actually really good for scout, so I'd stick to scout for the most part and have your roamer off class. Just the height difference between the first floor and the second floor make it really easy to kind of control things if you manage to get up there. And in general, the point being raised as it is makes it really easy to kind of all in people on that really, really low ground. So I wouldn't really stay off of scout here. Also lets you kind of put pressure onto other doors as the enemy team pushes in, and it's really effective on this map. Lobby, obviously you have a pack, so win pretty much any 1v1 there as long as you go in at the right time. And the right sides, they're pretty tight areas, so you get a pretty good element of surprise. And that was probably a mistake, shooting that soldier there. Obviously, like, I mean, he died, but if that scout that was shooting your soldier had been a bit more accurate or a bit quicker reaction-wise, he probably would have put you down to really low, whereas you could have dealt with a soldier that didn't have any ammo, was already weak and pushing it back afterwards without, you know, jeopardizing your health and potentially saving your teammates. So it probably would have been better to target the scout there. That was good. Don't fight him. Like, he can only, yeah. Okay, so you took it slow, that was good. That's a good fight, the end of it. Although I probably would have focused on the soldier a bit more. Obviously, if he had hit his shots, he'd be kinda... Well, he would have killed you, going for the med like that. Just up front like that, check this corner. That's good, that's good. Now you need to check above you. I wouldn't go back like this, like... There's enough people that can handle it, and if something really bad happens, you being there won't help it. You're too far away to actually stop it, prevent it from happening. So you might as well be looking to continue your aggression, or in the event that something really bad happens, you can at least attempt to do something to them, where they'll be backing out anyway. Like I imagine your med gets forced or something, they'd be leading, so you could afford to die there, because they'd probably push back on you anyway. So you want to be capped, since I don't think there's very much resistance, you want to be capping like at the edge of the point. It's just kind of a minor thing. This was a really bad Uber. You shouldn't go straight into them. Yeah, you should have gone into the lobby. Yeah, it'll force them back a bit, and if the demo stays up there, you can obviously get some damage on them. I wouldn't commit, because I would imagine people would be coming from draw or rollout, as they did. But you can at least take some pressure away from your team and maybe open up some opportunities for other people to kind of get in. And here you probably want to be going sewer, because I imagine your team's already backing out, so if you're doing anything, it's going to be from there. Like, this is just too obvious. And there's no excuse for you living here. You're very lucky to live. Like, you weren't helping your team escape there, they were already fine just from the death cam. And, you know, any opportunity would be coming from sewer just to catch someone off guard and call a bush off of that, the damage you get or something. Other than that. So back to sniping here, which I don't think is the best idea. You know, obviously you have Uber, they just Ubered. It looks like you're lagging a bit, or maybe the demo's screwing up. That guy, probably better, like you need to look around more in between fights. You're just kind of like choosing whatever, like the first guy you see, which is a problem a lot of scouts have. Because that guy really wasn't that big of a threat. I mean, there's a heavy on point that's probably should be switching off anyway. So any damage on him isn't going to mitigate this push at all. And like obviously, you know, there's a lot more threats in terms of damage potential. You know, the demo could wipe you if he's keen. You know, he's playing properly, sees a bunch of people grouped up. So this is a good push out, and you don't want to commit on this. Obviously, it won't work that well. So you need to be worried about the scout that went IT. So obviously he's trying to be a big... You should have been killing him. It's more important to kill people than cap this. It's really easy to contest this if you have health. Granted, their spawns are pretty late, but that guy was a kill, and it's really hard to push into mid. But I'd say it's pretty easy to push back into 2, so I'd take that risk. I don't know why you're looking both ways here. Just look at the fucking people that you might need to kind of defend against. Like 6 to like 12 damage makes a difference. So I think that situation there, you kind of need to not fall down from the right. I think you fell down from the right, which is a mistake, because you obviously see them a bit later. And if you're going down the ramp, you have the opportunity that they might not catch you, or you can break line of sight and then kind of get into them as they're coming in here, into the lower IT or making their way up the ramp. It's a pretty easy force, I think. But obviously, I guess you guys are going to force him here. You shouldn't be Ubering. Yeah, I don't know. You just took damage there when you didn't need to. I don't know. What do you... If they're getting behind you, then you should look forward. I don't know. That was really bad. You don't really want to take damage from their Uber, and like if you're gonna fight people on the other side of the map, you have to take it away from the Uber so they can't damage you for free. And your team should have been kiting more in general. Like that was an easy force, and you guys wouldn't even have to use as long as you're med kited properly. At the very least, you guys wanted to head into those 2 people near sewer, and that would have been a pretty easy pickup. Obviously, it'd be a 4 to 6 after the Uber, which is great. But you personally, you definitely should have probably, like if you wanted to fight the people near sewer, kind of drag them away from the Uber. Like I probably wouldn't have fought them, but you know, take them under bridge where the Uber is focused on the ramp on point, or take them, you know, to the far sewer door, which is a little bit riskier, but taking a lot of damage away from your team and you know, putting them out of position, and if anyone on your team kind of follows up on that, you get some easy kills there. Now, I'm not sure why you really went into that guy. Like, I don't know, like, you kinda gotta assume, like, you weren't really defending anyone, and getting them that close to a soldier is a pretty bad, especially a pocket. Like, if they're not shit, they will just rocket shotgun you and you're dead. So that guy just kinda messed up there, bad item, or a bad weapon choice. So that's kinda why that worked out. You should have taken more mid-range. Like, you can't really... This is a good kill. No, never mind, you gotta leave now. If you get that kill, it's kinda better. As long as you're taking a position where you can take corners tight as a team and just jump on them with one jump, then having two soldiers is better than having a demo on this mid. I think it's kinda... Demo on this mid is really weird. It's hard to hit shots from like a safe position, so you have to kinda commit to put out damage, which makes it really easy for soldiers to kinda get in with one jump. So mid's not lost if you kind of drop the demo to that, but you need to get him, obviously, or they're just going to have an advantage. So, good of you guys to recognize that and back out. So right now you can't be content to stay back, you know. They have one scout on cap. It's a pretty even fight right now, as long as you guys get into them. Probably could have gotten kills. At the very least, like, you delay them to the point where, you know, your demo can get back to them, or get back to your team before they kind of get towards the point. It makes it a bit easier to defend. Like, you could have 2 second defenses probably, as opposed to 1. Like right now, you just kind of have 1. And here, I'm not, like, if you're not going to be able to do something, you should be, like, breaking line of sight from people, just so, you know, you can maybe get a sneak attack. And, yeah, I'm not sure that route was the best. I think you probably should reapproach 2 from that lower entrance and lobby. It's really effective, you know. It's really hard to see from a lot of places. And obviously being on the low ground prevents you from getting pushed into by most people if they're on the high ground. Kind of a nice thing about Scout. So you should probably take, yeah, this far door. I always kind of come through here as the quickest if I'm like coming into a fight, and you're least likely to kind of get damaged because a lot of fighting's gonna be around the point and under bridge if teams are already in. So you need to worry about stuff that might be in mid, like maybe your team is calling, but I didn't see. Like, I would expected more people around, so I wouldn't worry too much about that demo. But it's fine. This immediately needs to stop because he will force you. It sucks that your mag didn't, like, he didn't need to Uber there. But, you guys end up Ubering. Shooting the invisible stickies that I can't see. Good times. At this point, if you guys have the opportunity to get into lobby, which might not be the case, you can take that pretty easily and threaten a wrap if they push through rollout or the tunnel door on the left. And obviously it's pretty easy to force them in lobby with dropping no one or just dropping a scout into it. You just rush into them, body block them a bit, and everyone spams them. Easy force. So it's not one of those like shitty forces either where they're still healthy. Like, you'd put them down really low. And that's probably the best way to defend this point. Like, it's not really hard to defend up close. There's a lot of opportunities to threaten rabs and just off Uber pushes. You know, push to the right if they're pushing into lobby. Like, just delay a lot. If your mag's really good, you'll be like, I'm gonna do a mag or a demo review myself, and like I kite a lot, and it makes it really easy to do anything I want, pretty much. So if your mag's kind of like that, then this is one of those points where there's like infinite kite possibilities. You know, you have so many exits to go through and then places to repush because all the entrances are pretty close to each other. So I don't agree with holding it this far back on this point. And obviously don't scout build, yada yada yada. So you should be checking lobby, like getting a buff and taking this corner pretty wide, the lobby, the lower lobby kind of entrance. just to see what's going on. Okay, so they use the oobs.
Control point is being contested.
You obviously don't, like, this is a habit that a lot of people have, and sometimes I do it myself, but you want to be looking towards, like, where people can approach you from. So looking away from the sewer door, you know, it's kind of risky. You open yourself up to some splash, and losing crit heals right now is kind of a problem. So I would expect someone to have gone into sewer. I don't know why you guys Ubered here. You could have retaken this without Ubering, and just used the threat of Uber to push them out, and then use the Uber for last. What's worse, you guys didn't actually do anything. I think your medic died in the Uber somehow. Like he just took it off or something. He seemed to die like instantly. But
Control point is being captured.
yeah, you should be like pushing into the scout there before your team gets in to make it really easy for soldiers to bomb the point.
Time has been added.
Like these scout Ubers where it's just straight up the scout or Ubered is really like obvious and silly at this point. Like everyone kind of expects stuff like that. You know, you can fake pressure and, well, not really fake pressure, but like walk in with the scouts, dodge all the damage you need to dodge, get your soldiers in, and then follow up after them. Save them with the Uber, and then continue the Uber with the scouts. It's probably the most ideal way to have an Uber. And you just skipped a bunch of steps there, and it's not good times. You always want to maintain Uber advantage. It's probably the most important thing in this game right now. It used to be getting a bunch of kills, and a bunch of points, but Uber is kind of making a comeback, I think. That and just having your medic up. Like, medic is a little bit more important. I value it a bit more than I used to.
Alert. The control point is
As long as they're getting out heals properly. So yeah, this is not very fun. But you guys all have Uber, so stay on scout. And you want to be looking into lobby right now. If they had just capped, like, it's a little bit dangerous now, but as they were just capping 2, you can stay in lobby until they push you out, and you'll have an accurate timing of where they are. And obviously if they don't push immediately, there's a chance that they're pushing somewhere else. So you just kind of, as a team, generally know really well timings based off of where you see them push into. So it's a good kill on the scout, good kill on the demo. It's really good to switch to the soldier because you saw he self-damaged himself. He wasn't buffed to begin with, and he probably jumped to get there. So easy kill. Good that you're not chasing the medic because he probably has that scout spawn. And you really need to cap because you can't help this. You're not going to be able to help that. And I'm pretty sure everyone on your team is up, save maybe your demo. So you didn't need to worry about that. That's a good kill. Don't jump. Jumping there was the biggest mistake. That scout hits you, you will die. Like, he'll knock you into a sticky, the demo shoots at someone else. Since you're kind of aligned with your teammates there. Back on bats. And obviously, if he hits you in the air, he'll just kill you. Like, you're jumping a lot, and it won't work against good players, basically. Make sure, like, jumping and moving around like an idiot works against pretty bad people, but for the most part, it's not going to work consistently against good people. You have the opportunity to bosh and pass through that health pack there. Just a minor thing. I don't remember to do it very often. I guess I don't play Scout anymore, so maybe that's why. But you can just kind of make pressure there more effective by taking that pack off cooldown. So if you happen to damage them as they're coming in, you know, they have to wait a little bit to push in. Gives your team some options a little bit. So this time, I guess you guys are sacking in. I'm not sure why you're Ubering. You saw that they were really far back, so should have called to your team that the Uber is a bad deal. You'll get out here, but yeah, you could have easily done that with at least having them suicide one person into your med to force, and get the point, like, all the same. But you probably could have done that, like, without Uber, as long as you and your medic were playing properly, like, or whatever the pocket scout. As long as he's leading in, calling what's going on, and just creating space, you know, your medic should be fine. So take it left. Yeah, you wanted to go left here because you could probably push the demo off of that since the med and him separated. Even if they didn't, I'd probably suggest you push the demo. Now you're taking these corners sharp when you should be taking them wide, because you don't want to run into something that can randomly two-shot you. And then yeah, you kind of take this height advantage and it's playing against you, like I said before. You don't want to do that as scout. Unless you're doing something control for your team, but you have to already be in a position, like an advantageous position. You're kind of pushing into them, so you know, they're just gonna get on you and it's gonna be easy mode. So it looks like they're pushing IT. This would be a pretty good opportunity with your buff to kind of push into them on the lower, just to see if they're coming there. You could potentially sack into them, or at least take some damage and trade, because right now you didn't use your buff at all and actually decayed entirely. And obviously this health pack's been up for like 15 seconds that you could have made use of. So there's no real downside of taking damage there, just peeking lower IT while you got your big buff, just to see what's going on. So I think there might be one person up aside from the two people at 2. You might have to worry about him a bit. But it looks like it's... I guess he's with him, so not a problem. You don't need to be this far back. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Okay, this is not good for you anymore. You want to get off of here. You would have killed him instantly if you were on the ground, instead of like having to jump down. He would just died. Just, you know, take advantage of the fact that you deal a lot of damage quickly, break line of sights, you know, stay on the ground so you can't get pushed into if you get caught out of position. It's just stupid to get on high ground. Probably want to go through the far door, because that guy should have killed you. Both of the demo, like the soldier should have shotgun you, and the demo should have finished you off with the sticky. Maybe there's no way. You should have lived there. It's the far door. You can create enough distraction that maybe your team can kind of follow up. So you want to be on the far left right now to make sure they're not getting in the lower lobby, because I wouldn't expect your team to push up there since you're kind of low on people. So right now your buff's decaying again. It's kind of a waste of time, and you just get a buff and you go spawn. I would be yelling at you if like, I'm not yelling at you, but I'd be pretty upset if I was your medic. You're wasting my time, like a lot of it, which is silly. You know, use your buffs. This is an active game. You know, you can sit around and play passive, I guess, like if you want to try and win, but like it's kind of not even a winning strategy anymore, just sitting around and not playing aggressive. Like, you know, you don't need to all in aggression, but just not letting people take areas, playing like, just play the fucking game, you know. Like, I don't know what this, everyone's worried about medics dying and shit. Just as long as you're playing the game and creating pressure, then you're fine. And it's a lot more fun, so. Like, this is just useless, and no one's having fun. We're back on scout after wasting 2 buffs and being a sniper for 5 seconds. Like, I don't know, you can make this game a lot better than it is by, oh yeah, you just lose. It sucks. But yeah, obviously if you're a scout there, you've been able to deal with that a bit earlier, so. But yeah, I don't know, just have fun, like, I don't know, get people that play passive. I don't know. This game is a lot better than people play it. It's kind of a sad thing. So yeah, getting up here did nothing for you. You took a stick, like I said, and you're mid-silver, and your team's already out, so I wouldn't come back in here. Not really sure where their heals were going, but yeah, they definitely shot the wrong people there. But they did pick up your meds, so at least they've got that going for them. You have no reason not to take the health back, especially if you commit the time to half going there anyway. leaves this pack up for use if you need it. Or both of these actually.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Doc, come on, man!
So, without a demo, I don't think you can probably, like, viably hold this choke unless your soldier gets aggressive. And then you could probably trade evenly here. As long as you're very close. Like, see, there's people on the sides. You could probably, you know, it's a 4v4 here. You have bear classes going in. As long as one scout leads, the soldier follows up with a bomb that doesn't hit the ceiling, and then the other scout follows behind, and your medic kites properly so that as you guys are killing him, he ends up, like, in front of you a bit. You won't get flanked from behind. You could definitely win that fight. I don't know, the problem with that choke is it's really easy to push into. It's really easy to defend aggressively. Yeah, don't play sniper anymore. It hasn't helped at all. Once.
Alert. Our last control point is being captured.
Okay, so just go choke. It's gonna be capped by the time you get there. You're wasting your time and everyone else's time. Should have gone and picked off that soldier when you saw him. Not sure why you didn't, but no bigs. Now you should probably hit that demo, or push through choke right now without Ubering because there isn't a demo there. But instead, you guys, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what that was. That was, something must have jumped your med, I guess, and you was in a bad position. So you guys scout pick. Oh, there's a scout behind. Okay, he's hiding mid. That's not that bad then. You guys should be pushing and you shouldn't be away from your medic, you know, this just opens up the opportunity. Like, if that splash hadn't fucked up, this guy would easily kill you. I mean, he's still gonna do a lot of damage to you, this pack's not gonna be up for a while. And you're just not getting a whole lot out. Like, sure you killed him, but you didn't do anything for your team. Like, he's dead, but he wasn't gonna do a whole lot anyway. Just holding that position, it would take him 5 seconds to rotate. Not 5 seconds, but it'd be a good deal of time before he did anything. And if he decided to flank, he'd obviously be even more useless, so you should kind of deal with him as he comes into your team and just create space for your team. It's the best way to play scout. And this guy, this is the right decision. Just get in the Uber here. Don't waste that much ammo on the medic. Yeah, good round. So again, this is crap. I mean, you just got destroyed just based off of spam from scouts. Like, they're definitely healthier than you. Like, just from spam. Now you lose. This is miserable. You rotate, which would have been nice like 5 seconds earlier if your team had done that. He aggresses for some reason. You get a bunch of kills because they think they are allowed to do that. Take the pack. Take the pack. I don't know why you didn't take the pack. Had time. The man could have healed someone else, or at least spammed some arrows at people. Or he could have walked and buffed you if he didn't want to. Just so many more options if you had taken the pack there. And then your medic Ubers. Why?
Time has been added.
So hopefully Testify gets the force. Or you guys are fucked. Alright, so it looks like you're just holding mid. You need to go force them right now, just walk into them. Okay, so their medic did not use the Uber. Interesting. And you need to watch us go on the right. He's obviously going to jump. Everyone that goes behind the crates is going to jump up there, or they're going to back off. So if you're really looking to prevent damage from team, you should be putting your crosshair on the shack, like where they jump up. You can even force them off with the push from your shot if you're doing it properly. So yeah, you're spacing yourself really well from the rest of your team, which is something you haven't been doing properly. Oh, and you saw that guy. I don't know. Let's see. But anyway, you space yourself pretty well there from your scout, so you don't take the same damage and it's not strain. It's like you want to give your mech a bunch of options for people to kite with or people to push with, and you also don't want to make him, you know, have to heal people that are taking a lot of damage. That was a bit silly. Like, you jump a lot for no fucking reason. Just like a lot of scouts would be better if they unbound the jump key for like a fucking week or something and learned how to play the game properly. You just have so much more control on the ground. And this is coming from a guy that just all-ins a bunch of people. Like, I don't even move that much. But just because I'm on the ground, like, it's so much better than if I jump a lot. There, like, the second jump probably wasn't the best idea, because it sets it up for an easy follow-up. You should have just dodged the rocket while looking at him. But he didn't fire at you anyway, so I guess it worked out. Like, the first one was necessary, because he will just splash the ground if you follow the ground, but the second one, you were far enough away from that you had time to react to where he was shooting, and he had fired a couple of rockets before and rocket jumped, so he wouldn't be able to follow up the second one with the third one, and you would be able to escape without dying. What the fuck? Your demo man just got deterred by walking into a rail. So you guys have crits, you need to go in right now. Just go in through choke. Just need to get in. If you're planning on using it. Well, you don't. Okay, this is shit. You get enough, but like, I don't know. You should have been using it as you were getting into mid, so you could know exactly where they were, because they didn't have like everyone wasn't on cap. Like, it wasn't like 8 times or 7 times, so it was really, you can't blind crits like that. So I would expect your team to kind of push in on the right. These guys got forwards. I don't know why you stopped pushing this soldier. You could have killed him easily if you had been fighting him at an appropriate range. And obviously, by the time you got to him, the bottle's available to you, so he has to hit you with like 3-4 rockets to really kill you. So this is a good crits. I would have gone in with it with like a head scan class, but whatever. This is a good crits. You don't commit with it, which is what you want to do in a lot of these situations on last, even if you have Uber advantage. You're looking to do damage with the crits so that they can't really push into you, because by the time they get respawns and get ready to go, if you're actively spamming them, you'll have the crits up again. So you're just trying to maintain your position with the crits, and on the chance that you do really well, you obviously get the point like you did there. So that was good crits. So delay buff, I wouldn't go up top because they'll already be waiting for you. Choose to fight a soldier. I guess that was okay. I think you should be putting damage more. Like, the soldier's gonna do what they're gonna do, and they're gonna be like if they're jumping early, they're gonna be like exhausted of their damage pretty quickly. So you picking them up isn't that useful. You probably want to do damage more towards scouts, so that's why I pressure point a bit. I get a lot of damage on scouts. I also get to soldiers before they jump, but that's another thing. So that's good.
Thanks, Doc.
So probably wanted to hug the right a bit more there, and probably go at the bottom right. just because that opening was kind of watched. Generally, you can get out the bottom right and scout things out a bit better, just to see what's going on for your team. And that could trigger the push through a rollout. And yeah, the only reason I suggested when you jumped off of rollout or battlements, whatever you want to call it, just to hug the wall a bit is because you open yourself up to opportunities to get pushed there if someone's like, and it's an easy sticky to hit from the demo. They don't expect you to kind of back up like in the air like that. And that was questionable by your medic.
Alert! Our last control point is being captured. You failed!
Alright, I feel good.
We'll go a bit longer. And I might call it a bit short on this one. There's not a whole lot going on. But you don't really play in a way that you make a lot of mistakes, which is kind of a mistake in itself, but
Play ball.
yeah. It's not too much to comment on. So the demo dies immediately, so this is where being up here helps. And you shouldn't commit on people like this. It's not the purpose of being here, it's to prevent your team to get pushed in and do damage before people get aggressive, so you want to be damaging that soldier. You spread damage evenly up here, so your team in general can like exist happy, or be a little safer on mid. And in that situation, you probably want to put more damage on the soldiers and the scouts. Even some damage on the demo, probably. Or over the scouts when you're up there. In this situation, you probably should sack in to keep your soldier alive, because I probably think he would have lived if you had gone in. And he's a bit better at defending the choker too than you are, so you probably want him up. Also, he's a bit better at sacking in on the med than you are, so you probably want to... And obviously right there, he'd be a lot better if they're pushing IT. So you're messing out a lot by not having a soldier there, and potentially, you know, if the scout makes a mistake and doesn't shoot you, you get a trade at least if he dies. Or you get a trade if you hit some, or you just win because you hit some good shots. There's a pause. Good times were had by none. But yeah, there's no point in not pushing up there if your soldier is getting attacked. Like, that's what you want as a scout, is people to be shooting the wrong person, which is basically, you know, if you're ever shooting not a scout, you're kind of opening yourself to get pushed.
Thanks, Doc.
You probably could have pushed the demo. Maybe there is invisible stickies that I didn't see. So this is dumb. You should just cap the point here. Wait, no, it's already capped. Messed up. Whoops. Yeah, that was fine then. You don't want to stay here. Obviously, that guy's not going to push into you. And you could have been killing him a lot earlier. Now, that shot was a mistake because you could have had 2 shots if you had reloaded a bit quicker. Or like allowed yourself to reload longer. And he can't do anything while he's on the rock, and you want to make sure you at least hit him as he's going away from the rock. So because you're not shooting at him, you know, he doesn't have that window where he can leave. Obviously there's a cooldown between shots even if you have it loaded. So obviously he's going to jump away when you shoot. So he'll delay a bit and wait for the shot, which means you can position yourself better to kind of block his escape. And at the same time, you'll have a bit more loaded, so that was just a really big ammo mistake there. And that was silly. Like, I don't know. You, like, shouldn't have missed that. Like, you should just let people get into your crosshair when they get into your crosshair. You're flicking away from them a lot. It's pretty weird. Like, that guy, like, was just easy mode, just hit him for 100 and take as long as you want and you'll kill him no matter what and he won't do shit to your med. But you missed the first 2 shots because you wanted to kill him really quickly for some reason. And yeah, you should have reset a lot earlier, because now you just wasted 23 health or something. I'm back on sniper. I think you've gotten a body shot with it once, and you got another one. It's a first. A kill with one. You guys should sack someone right here. Even if you're... Oh, what the fuck is this Uber? See, they did the lobby hold, and I don't think it's really hurting them that much. So, yeah, your med's gonna die here.
Alert. Our last control point is being captured.
Bad positioning. And you should lose this round. You know you
The final control point is being contested.
I guess I can finish it. So yeah, this is the I'm going to default jumping to this wrong problem. Maybe you delayed a bit. But if both of you got hit by that, I would say the mid's already lost. If they play properly. If both scouts get hit by that, second sticky. And that, like, just stay off of the fucking high ground. No one needs to go out there, so those scouts aren't a problem. Like, their soldiers shouldn't be jumping in a way that those scouts can hit them, unless they're aggressing onto them, in which case you're obviously gonna just shoot them from the ground, or get up in that case. But, like, you're not gonna get any more kills if you go up there. You're not gonna really do much, unless it's a really slow mid. Oh no. Pauses. Like, I don't know, a lot of scouts have this problem where they just think they can go anywhere without consequence, and it's scouts a lot about planning where to be. Like, you want to be in positions where you can do things. You have a lot of options and you can do things in the future. Like going up top, just like, sure, it's a good position to be in, like, in a lot of situations. Well, not a lot, but a few. But it takes so long to get up there, and so much can happen while you're getting up there, that it's just not really worth it for the most part, unless it's a very controlled environment. You should have dropped down here and at least kind of pressured from along this wall a lot earlier. Not really sure without. Like, you should, at least if you die there, you're fucking gonna be up earlier. Like, there's no reason to be up there. Like, I just don't understand why you didn't drop down. I mean, if your whole team gets up there, it's great. You can just jump off, jump back on, and do damage, but that wasn't the case. It's good that you recognize you can kill the demo. Probably wanted to go towards the sewer entrance, so you get the pack so your mag didn't have to heal you, and get the soldier to 300 and the scout. Pretty healthy. You get these both soldiers, you need to take 2. They get mid though, and people are going forward. Yeah, that was just bad play by your medic, and the people that went in should have taken it slower. Not sure what you're doing, because you clearly hear fighting going on. So, you know, you just kind of baited your soldier there. Maybe he wasn't fighting that all any, but this is dumb, because if someone peeks you, you die. Yeah, you don't jump up there. Now you have to check the forward spawn. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be someone behind you soon. Maybe not. Get behind the rock. No, don't shoot. No one saw you. Go get the sewer pack. You can't afford to... No. He would have pushed you if he wasn't shit.
Control point is being captured.
And this isn't gonna do shit. You can get in the lobby.
Time has been
Oh. That's weird. That's like the weirdest...
point is being captured.
Oh, I guess your team got absolutely destroyed somehow. I don't know. But, yeah, your movement choices... in the sense that you're choosing positions on the map to be, and like just the random choices, or choices that seem random, just moving around the map, you lose a lot of time, and that's really bad for Scout. And you put yourself open to a lot of aggression because of your tendency to jump and kind of move in a way that puts yourself in the position, like, you want to be as consistent as possible on Scout, because you'll always do a lot of damage, so you don't have to worry about hitting the big meats or whatever. But like, you by jumping is a very good example, but you also have other minor problems, like just the way you kind of dodge, where you open yourself up to get majorly destroyed. And it's not even like there's a lot nearby, like it probably won't happen, but it could very well happen. So just tendency to jump, you know, if something random hits you and pops you around, you know, a Scout will push you on that if they're good. And that's just, it's like, I don't know, it's just really silly. I'm trying to like think of what game to equate it to, but I don't know. I guess it's like playing StarCraft and not using your fucking rallied units or something. Something like that. Not using energy on your fucking command center. I don't really know StarCraft 2 that well, I just know Brood War, so I don't know why I'm making StarCraft 2 analogies. But yeah, it's a little silly. And lovely black screen to look at. But yeah, and then you aim a little silly, and then obviously, you know, damage spread is pretty poor on mid, which is necessary to keep your team alive. And in general, target priority needs a little bit of work. You kind of pick up frags that would be available to you later if you like switch targets, you know, like the time with the soldier, you know, you could pick them up later as long as you shoot the Scout, and you only have potential to gain from shooting the Scout earlier. You know, a good Scout would be hitting you a bit harder, and obviously if you kill him quick enough, your soldier lives, so if he does make a mistake like he did there, your soldier will probably live. So in general, just a little bit of mistakes, you don't really count people's ammo properly. I think you're not getting aggressive enough towards demos. Like in most situations, I would kind of like demos not that important, especially if you're like in a fight. Like, but that's only because I put pressure on demos. Like, you don't want to commit on them because it's kind of a waste of ammo, but if you can control them by being in a position to commit on them and making them aware of that, just kind of pushing them a bit over and over again, then you can kind of spook them, control their damage a bit, make them kind of shoot you, and it's pretty easy to dodge at certain ranges. Or at least, you know that you have a health pack available to you to back up, so you can deal 100 damage to a Scout, stop him from being able to push, and, you know, distract 4 stickies away from your team if you're on the flank or something. And it makes them pushing through a choke point pretty easy in that kind of situation. It might come up a lot on process where the flank's generally pretty easy to get into, especially you seem to be a bit ahead of your team sometimes. And other than that, had some reloading issues, just like mechanical things that should be avoiding those mistakes. Thinking more about just the random movements and random decisions you make because they make a difference. Oh yeah, and you obviously need to take packs more. And don't go sniper on last. And use your buffs. Okay, bye bye!